Welcome back to Brewing with Two Bros. Today we have the greatest of all, Ahmer,
Oh,
and and my brother, of course. So we'll start the conversation here about real estate, life, school, investing, everything, and see what we are able to brew it from his mind, and drink a coffee from it.
All
So
right.
let's
Let's start
get
with an
started.
introduction, I think. So, Emmer,
well, first of all, thank you very much for having me.
it's a pleasure
You know,
having
uh,
you.
And thank you so much for the very gracious introduction.
I mean, you deserve it.
Well, thank you guys.
Well deserved, of course.
No, like people won't know you as we know you, because
That's true.
we are around same age. We hang out around a
We're not
lot.
the same age.
too.
We're not.
We are
We
not,
might look the
but
same age.
You're
that's
just twice my age.
Yeah.
I look old then, or you look young.
I think it's I look young.
Because you look like it. Right?
All right.
All right.
Get started then.
Yeah, Emmer, we let you start. So,
What's
just
your
a quick
name?
introduction.
Oh yeah, so I'm Ahmer Zaidi. I am just starting out investing. I really started investing actively, or trying to invest at least. Right now, I consider myself a failing investor, but we all fail right before we
But
get
mean,
launched.
why do you think you're a failing investor?
Well, see, I mean, so I do have a full-time job.
Yeah.
I do have 2 kids.
Okay.
A family, and it's one of the struggles I have is to find time to go out, look at investment properties, things
True.
like that with
Yeah.
my full-time job. And we're here in Chicago. It's such a vast market. I can't leave my work during the day to drive 40 minutes to go see a property and 40 minutes back.
Right.
Because that's at least 3 hours out of my
I
time.
see this problem with a lot of investors, or like local investors, that they're like, "Oh, I don't have time to go out."
No, especially who have W-2 jobs and families and everything going on.
Right.
We are single. We are free all day. We have no
We
other
have no
motive
other
in our
life
life.
than this,
No W-2s, no 1099. Of course, 1099. 1099, yes. No W-2s. So we are all focused on like buying properties and making them look good.
Exactly.
That's the main focus.
Well, when I grow up, I want to be like you guys.
when you grow up.
No, but I mean, my journey it's little steps, right? So over the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot more than I was before.
Yeah.
Just to make those incremental, modifications in my behavior and what I do on a week-to-week basis to at least keep myself in the investing market.
Yeah.
Got it. So, what made you pursue real estate as a career, or like as a part-time career?
So I've kind of been around it my entire life. So growing up, my dad was a real estate investor.
Your dad too?
Yeah, so
interesting.
he wasn't in the traditional sense that how we were taught to do it. But when I was born into a property that my parents were house hacking.
No way.
In the
Like a
city of Chicago.
multifamily.
Yeah, it was a multifamily, one of those. It was one of those three flats.
Three
It was like
units,
2 flats
four-
with a ground level in Albany Park.
Oh,
Chicago,
that's
right.
really cool.
So I remember growing up, and I'm first generation. I was born here. My parents were immigrants, so I guess first generation.
You're
Yeah.
from Pakistan, right?
from Pakistan. My parents
Okay.
are from Pakistan. Yeah.
No, but he was born here.
I was
mean,
born here.
you know what I
so,
mean, right?
Like, so
Yeah.
would that make me first generation? Because first generation born here. Let's
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
first
the
generation
call
born
that.
here.
So
Yeah.
everything was very, a struggle, right? Because as immigrant parents, as you guys know, everything is
Brand new. You have no
well,
idea
everything
what
is,
are you
is
doing.
different,
It's a
and
whole
then there's
different thing.
always a struggle.
I mean,
our
for
parents-
us, we came like 10 years ago.
Right.
So it's even worse. Like,
it's even worse,
know?
but you know how it is, like where someone's coming to a country, and my dad at that time when I was born, he's been here a while. My dad moved to the States when he was like 18, 19 years old.
oh, wow.
So he was fairly young, but still there was a language problem, things and that. But what
There's
I was
always some sort of barriers.
right.
Yeah.
But one thing I was getting at is that he was such a hard worker.
Right.
So I remember at least at that property where my dad put up his own chain link fence around the property. I must have been
By
3-4 years
himself?
old. He was by himself.
Yeah.
Put the chain link fence by himself. And honestly, if I drive by today, that chain link fence is
Probably
still
still
up.
there
It's
because the
still
way he
there.
did it.
I don't know how you can mess that up. But
Do you guys still own that property?
no, we sold it a long time ago. So we sold it back in like 1990.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm dating myself here, guys.
Yeah.
Man, I was born in 1999.
yeah, there you go. So, sorry, hence age difference.
That's right.
But as we grew up, he was always sort of in investing. So, once we sold that, I think that's when we moved out to in the city we currently live. But then as time progressed, he's been in never in single families, always in multifamilies. So he had like a 21 unit out on somewhere in Cicero.
21 unit?
21 unit in Cicero
wow.
that we sold. And then he had like 3 townhomes in Bensonville before the O'Hare expansion, where it was a pretty good deal because the eminent domain, we got bought out because,
They were expanding
the airport,
Right.
which ended up paying for college for me and my brothers.
Oh,
right?
interesting.
So, he set all that stuff up to help me,
You
my
guys,
brothers, and
yeah.
my mom, right?
Yeah, to get where you are right now.
Yeah, and then a couple of things, we had another multi-unit in Oak Forest and 3 duplexes in Tinley Park.
So it's been in the blood then, pretty much.
It's been in the blood, but I'll tell you this. My dad didn't really teach us the business, right? Because
Yeah.
as first generation, it's like study,
want to go
study,
to
get a
study,
good
yeah.
job, let
Right.
him do the hard work so we have an easy life. So, W Dad, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Right.
But he passed away a few years ago. So, now I've been doing more of the property management
Right.
for my mom in this case. We sold a couple of the assets off, but right now we still maintain 2 duplexes.
Oh, interesting.
Nice.
And what's your educational background?
Educational background. Let's see. I got my undergrad in telecommunications from DePaul University, and also I went back like a schmuck and got my master's.
You got your master's too.
Master's in IT project management because I thought that's what I wanted to do, but it turns
And I'm
out
out here
that's not
still
me.
trying to finish my undergrad. I can't even do that.
Every brown people you see, they have IT degree and a medical degree going on.
Yeah.
Most of
Yeah.
them.
Mo-
Most of them.
Both my brothers are in the medical field.
Oh, I see.
Oh, there you go.
I tell people I'm the smart one.
You're not going into it.
Exactly.
I mean, I got into medical, like, I did it for like 2 years, I think. And I was like,
Really? I didn't know that.
yeah. So I was thinking at the other 10 years that was going to take me. I was like, you know what? This isn't for me.
Nah.
But then I switched my majors. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I'm
So
still
it's
in
been
school.
now 6 years. He's still in school.
I'm trying to just figure out.
Hey,
You know?
honestly, I would much rather be in your shoes to what you guys are doing and where you guys have come in the last 6 years than, it's fine.
Yeah, I think we just find enough. I think.
Right. But I mean, you guys are doing it simultaneously, right? You guys have
Yeah.
reached the level in 6 years what people haven't reached in a lifetime. So
Man, I
6
appreciate
years
that
is
coming
nothing.
from you.
With God grace,
Yeah. God's grace.
God's
long,
grace. All-
more long years to come right now.
God willing.
All right.
God willing, right?
God willingly. All right. So as you said, like you have changed a lot in last couple of years. So I usually follow on you on Facebook and Instagram, and I have seen a tremendous change in your, I would say, physical appearance also.
Okay.
I
Yes,
think-
thank you.
You have started going to gym and all that stuff.
I did.
It has a person who goes to gym. What I think, they're really mentally strong person because every day at 5 a.m. like I see your post 5 a.m.
And he would do those daily quotes. So quote of the day.
right.
Those
Right,
those are the ones I was like,
Motivation
I gotta
quotes,
listen
yeah.
to those because
Yeah. No,
they're
I mean-
really interesting all the time. you
Yeah,
know?
so a couple of years ago, I decided to, I needed to change, right? And I read the book, the 5 a.m. Club,
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard about it. I've never
and
read it.
it's an amazing book, and it talked about, it's pretty much the theme of the book was own your morning, own your life, right? Because you get up in the morning, you get stuff done, nobody's around to bother you, you can actually
Right.
focus,
Focus, right.
So, for me, it was going to the gym, and not only that, not only for my physical health, but my mental health too, because, mental health, I mean, people go to the gym, nobody leaves the gym depressed, let me just tell you that, right?
Right.
but also when I said mental health, it's the mental discipline to
Right.
get to the gym,
The training and all,
Yeah, the training, and then, but that's also helped me in, kind of being more disciplined in other things in my life. But,
Right.
it's sometimes you do fall off the discipline wagon a little bit, but
that's
you gotta
understandable,
gotta
right?
find your way back on.
Back up, right.
Yeah. Also,
yeah.
you need a balance sometimes. I think you gotta take some time off and then
Exactly.
right.
Yeah. For
And then
sure.
also you do a lot of fasting.
I do a lot of fasting. I do a lot of extended fasting, and I do religious fasting as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're currently on a particular diet or something. Or
I am in day 4 of my carnivore diet. So I'm
For how long this will go? Like 30 days, 40 days, 21 days, 20
so
days?
right now I'm planning on 7, right? Because
7
I'm not
days.
sure how my body's going to react or
Yeah.
how I like it,
Right.
what kind of cravings I'll have. But if I can make it 7 days, then I'll see how long I can go.
and this
right?
is your 4th
Okay.
day anyway.
This is my 4th day. Yeah.
Should be easy peasy then.
It is now. The first couple of days were actually a struggle.
Right,
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, because your body's kind of detoxing, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, food can be considered a drugs, and when you're having cravings or you're hangry or do whatever, those are withdrawal
Those
symptoms.
two withdrawal symptoms.
right.
I think it's just the carbohydrates that the body craves, I think. Because you're still okay on the meat part. Like all the steak and all, you can still have all the steak, all the chicken, you can eat seafood, but it's just the carbohydrates, like, how Indians like eat naan and all
That's
that.
true. I love a good naan. I love potatoes. I love
Man,
all
some
the
butter
good
chicken
stuff.
and all,
Oh
right?
my God! Don't get me started. Yeah, I'm gonna go taste of India right now.
Not part of the plan.
I'll just have the tandoori chicken. It's okay.
Nice.
So
So guys, let me tell you, this is a podcast for real estate investing, but sometimes we talk about food too because we are foodies, So good food is a way to go to in your heart,
exactly.
Oh, for sure.
right?
So if we go to dinner after, I think Taste of India, and then we can have him eat some garlic naan and all.
No, you guys good. I'll watch you guys eat.
Watch it.
That's off our list for time, for a little bit. So you recently became an agent.
Yeah, I got.
How was that process?
The process was it took 2 years in the making.
2 years.
2 years. So,
Okay, let's start from the beginning first of all. When did you got your license?
So let me get
Yeah,
let me
little
get to that,
backstory,
right?
yeah.
So the backstory was right when I joined Mastery, it was early 2020, and then COVID happened.
So you were the online batch, or?
I was the first online batch. We had one in-person class, and then everything else was online.
Oh,
after
I
that.
would hate that, man.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
it
I
was-
just paid that much money just to
It
be
was-
online.
it was a little bit of struggle, and I'm not gonna make that as an excuse
Right, of course.
to push it off. But then lockdowns, you're at home, so at that point I decided to actually sign up for an online course, and you got a year to do it, and it was a lot of reading.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not the
A
type of
visual
person.
learner, maybe.
I am a visual learner. I need to be taught. That
Right.
way, it's a lot easier for me to be in classroom because the instructor can bring in real world experience, and their
Experiences, right.
examples will actually help you a lot when you actually go take the exam.
Right.
So but I eventually decided to actually take the in-person course over this past summer.
So it's
of
recent- it's
2013.
recent then, yeah.
It was like a 10-week course, 2 days a week, and I officially passed my licensing exam in September, and then chose a or sponsoring broker to work for in end of November.
Oh,
2023.
okay. So like 5 months ago.
Yeah,
Did you pass in the first shot?
I did.
You did?
I did.
How was that feeling like?
It was a good feeling, but as much I did a bunch of prepping, and all the practice exams that I did felt like those questions I actually had on the actual exam were very different.
Different,
Actually,
right?
Yeah,
so
very.
it's not even like.
No, it was the same, but they were written a little bit differently. So when you're practicing so much, you're used to a certain type of question.
Questions,
Like the
right?
format
Right,
on
the
everything,
format,
right? Yeah.
even some of the language.
Yeah.
So then when you read something else, you're like, this is a foreign language. I
I
don't
wasn't
know
even.
what it is.
This wasn't even on there.
So I took my time within the limit, the time limit, and I passed. They don't give you the score.
Oh, they still passes.
Yeah, so if you pass, they only give you, at least here in Illinois. I don't know about any
That's
other
better,
state.
I think. Because if I got a
passing's
70 out of
passing.
100, that's still pass.
It is. So only if you don't pass, then you actually get a score, and then you get a little bit more information. But when you pass, it doesn't matter. You're passed.
Doesn't matter.
matter,
Yeah,
You know,
I just did it.
even
Yeah.
what do they say? What do you call the doctor who graduates last in his class? He's still a doctor.
It's still a doctor, right?
Doctor's the doctrine.
So it's the same thing, right?
I like that saying.
No,
I'm gonna use that
I have
next
the
time.
same. I have the same issue. I have been doing the course for like last 1 year, it's been 2 years.
Not just once. You did it twice.
I did it twice, and every time I want to go and give exam, and I get demotivated. Like, do I have to do all
Is
that
this the
stuff?
thing I wanna do,
running around and putting offers and all that stuff. Because like I'll just give anybody call
Right.
and tell them, hey, this is a property address. Put this random number on the contract. Send it to me. I'll
just hope
sign
you
it,
get it.
and then submit for offer. And some people do it. Most of them will do it. Some people will say no.
Right.
So, that's the main reason I haven't went and given the exam,
Well, see, my reason for getting licensed was sort of selfish like yours, meaning
Yeah.
I wanted to go put in my own offers, right?
right.
One thing I found was anytime I saw at least a property that was on market, calling the listing agent, trying to even get their attention in this market
It
is
was a
tough.
hassle, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're not getting a call back, and then let's say you get something scheduled, it's under contract before
Contract.
you can
Yeah.
even get the
That's
get the
happening
door.
like even right now. Like there's so much competition, like still, that you can. So we looked at a property in Oak Lawn,
Yeah.
listed for 199, we offered 245, sold for 275.
Oh man.
Like how are you going $75,000?
I mean, how
over
people got
asking,
so
man?
much money? Like I am offering 45,000 above asking because I know the area and I can, do the appraisal and all that stuff. But for other people, 275, it's a lot of money. Like, and they all
And
the
it needs
offers
a lot
were
of work.
cash.
Right.
The basement has a leak.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, do you know if it was an investor? Because I can
It,
see.
it has to be an investor because they need to work.
Okay. I mean, it's a small subset of people that are okay buying a fixer upper to live in as
To
well.
live in.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, but those are the only people that can
Yeah.
actually afford to even do 30,000 more than your offer.
Right.
right.
you know,
That's so
Because if
shitty.
you're gonna live there, but some people like to work their magic in other
Right.
ways. So
Yeah. But anyways, so what do you think? What are what do you think? What were the challenges you faced during like 5-year period? Because you have been like investing, not investing, investing, not investing.
On and off track, I should say.
So I mean, you guys just hit the nail on the head, right?
Yeah.
So my biggest challenge is consistency.
Okay.
Right? Because that's what I struggle with. There'll be times where I will be super motivated and, going through all the meetups, looking at properties, and doing what I thought needed to be done. And then there's times where life just gets too busy. And, when you're not actively doing it for a couple weeks, it's kind of
You
like
forget about
you
it.
forget about it. And then you go back to
Oh,
it.
shit, I have
and
to look at
things like that.
properties.
Right, right. So
Right.
that's why I don't know if you noticed. You guys mentioned like, oh, I haven't seen you in a long time because I would be at all these networking
these
events, and
events,
all of
yeah.
a sudden, where'd you go?
You were gone,
Crickets.
yeah, you-
right. Life caught up, and now I'm sort of back again.
Right. I think last time we saw you was at the Eid event.
it was, yeah.
the
But
dinner.
before then,
It was like a year, I think.
I don't know about it was
Maybe like 7-8 months, easy.
no, it was at the party.
George's party?
Yeah,
That was September. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
September.
So that's like 7-8 months. We're in April.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
like, it's been like
holy-
7 months.
Holy moly, yeah, you're right.
It's almost a year at this point.
There you go. I guess you're right. See, my concept of time is skewed now.
No, but
No, what do you think? Like, you have been long in real estate investing. You were born and brought up in a family where they trade buildings and units and all that.
Right.
They bought it, multifamilies. They sold it. They know inside and out of investing, right?
Right.
So, what do you think? Is it a good idea for somebody to jump on real estate investing, or they should be prepared to go under? I know there
W2?
is a trauma and all that stuff going on while investing, So
So the way I see it, investing is definitely not for everybody, right? Because it takes a mental toll. There's a capital investment that's needed, but here's the thing, in my opinion, it might not be for everybody, but you can make it.
yeah,
That's the thing. Like there's the real estate is so vast because there's not just one way to do it, right? You can get into real estate by being, either a realtor, you can be an insurance broker, you can be an appraiser, you can be,
You're still in that industry.
You're still in that industry, and those are also industries. If you're a property inspector or an appraiser, chances are you're kind of also working for yourself.
so,
Right.
It's still a business.
Exactly.
So, but and there's other ways to invest in real estate. It's not where you're directly purchasing, closing on properties, right? There's syndications, there's other partnerships you can
Arbitrage and
get.
all this stuff,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's so vast. So I think the main thing people need to do is educate themselves on what's out there, and then try to find what it is that resonates with them and their circumstances and their financial circumstances for that time.
Got it. Have you done any flips?
I have done one flip.
How was
yes.
that experience like?
It was actually a very smooth experience. My partner was great. Our contractor was amazing. It took a little bit more time than we anticipated because ordering cabinets and things being damaged when they arrive and the reordering, so things kind of get pushed off.
Was this recently?
This was recent. So
Was it like a JV deal or something?
it was a JV deal. We acquired the property last February 2023, and then we ended up the rehab took about 5.5 months because of some of the delays and stuff.
Okay.
But those delays were outside of our control.
So, yeah, that's so fine then, yeah.
that's things that happen. So you got to work those into your number.
I mean, we have a property that's been sitting down for like 8 months,
Right.
and we haven't finished it yet. So
Well, you guys are busy with other things. but we ended up eventually selling it at exactly the ARV that we ran our
Anticipated.
numbers for, and
Oh, wow.
we closed on it in August.
Oh,
So,
good.
but it was like so 5.5 to 6 months end to end.
That's not bad. Actually. That's not too bad.
It's not bad, and it
Yeah.
was a really good experience. Just to kind of go through the motions and stuff. So yeah,
Right.
I'm grateful.
And
for
then
it.
how was that funded and everything?
So I funded it.
Oh, you funded it.
I funded it
With your
myself.
money?
So it's
Like family.
family money.
Okay.
Yeah, I funded it myself. So the way the deal worked out was my partner came to me looking for private money,
Okay.
but at this point right now I'm not doing any private money lending. So you know
that was my next question. Can I have some money?
so what I was getting at was
Let's finish
I
that
don't
and we'll come back to
I
it.
don't do lending anymore. I'd rather
know.
do a partnership.
Yeah.
Because that way I have a lot more skin in the game and I'm part of the process.
You're more
versus-
secure,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's not even. It's actually no. I'm more secure being a lender, by the way, because as a partner.
Oh, as a partner, you
As
got
a
part
partner,
of the
take
I
future.
am
risk.
I'm taking a risk just as much as you, right? If there's
Exactly,
a loss,
right.
we both take a loss. If there's a profit, we both
Both take a
we
profit,
both
right.
feast,
Right.
Right.
That's
right?
true.
But because I'm a partner, it's also in a selfish way, right? You guys work with hard money lenders,
We haven't yet, but we've only used
Okay.
private money.
But I know.
so
everything,
what do hard money lenders consider experienced?
Like 5 properties.
5 properties, and then how much equity do you need in each of those projects?
25%.
25%.
25%.
So selfishly, if I can do 5 partnerships in that allotted time, even though I'm not maybe directly involved, I've created experience for myself. So when I do need hard money,
Oh, yeah,
in the
that's
easier
future,
to access.
I have experience.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it then.
Yeah. So then, if you do partnership, I have an amazing deal for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
After the podcast. though.
Okay.
I was
Because I
talking
don't-
to him about when you were like getting ready.
Yeah.
I told him like, you got some money. The first thing he comes in like, do you have money? He's like,
No,
how
no,
much do you-
actually, it is an amazing deal. I already bought the property and everything. I just need a partner who can, put a rehab money, and I have already lined up a contractor or somebody. And
Everything's lined up except the lender.
Okay. Well, we'll talk if there's a
We'll
good
talk,
enough
yeah.
spread, and
Of
both of
course.
us and all 3 of us in
All
this
3 of
case
us.
can feast afterwards,
Right?
and it's worth it. Then
Yeah.
let's talk.
let's
Sounds
do
good.
it. So yeah.
Coming back to the real estate part. What's so funny? All right. You gotta tell us something.
Okay.
What's the most negative experience you've ever had since like till today? And that has that puts you behind a lot, or that made you like not want to get into real estate or back out from it, or anything
Only
similar to that?
related to investing and real estate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured. So honestly, it's all self-doubt. The only roadblock that I have faced is myself, right? It's me not being consistent, me not being disciplined, me not doing what I know I should be doing, right? Because everything else that's even external, like, hey, I can't find a lender, or I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm not meeting enough people. But that's all you. It's a
right.
mindset that
Right.
you have to go out, you have to put on a happy face, you have to put on a confident face. Like me, I'm naturally an introvert. I have to be extroverted now
Extroverted, right?
to go and have conversations with people that I'm very uncomfortable doing naturally.
Yeah.
Right. So it's about me changing my mindset, and that's what I have to do. So the worst thing about real estate is myself
Is it the willingness or just life in general?
it's a willingness.
It's a willingness.
Yeah. Maybe willingness is not the right word, because I'm willing to do it. It's just
It's
like
not happening.
It's really
Maybe you're not
finding
putting
that catalyst to get you there, to get you over that hump. Like the catalyst, like, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to wake up 5 a.m. and start going to the gym, right? That little bug in your
Push,
brain
yeah.
that, the little itch in you have to have that itch in your brain to go do something. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So until you have that mind shift,
Yeah.
you're not going to do anything.
That's true.
So the more I started surrounding myself with people like you and other investors, the more it motivated me to look introspectively and say, man, what are these guys doing that I'm not?
Not doing.
Self-reflecting. I mean, having a hard conversation with myself in the mirror and saying, what the fuck am I doing?
Right,
What
right.
what do I need to be doing? And once I had that real conversation, that's when things started to change for me.
Yeah.
So how is it you would say now at this point in your life that would you say you have changed a little bit, that you have tried harder, I guess? I don't know how to like word it right, but
So yeah, I have changed. I'm still wanting to invest, but right now, as you guys mentioned, I am a realtor, so I'm trying to grow that business
Grow
right
that
now.
business,
So
right.
it's a lot of everyone, especially in this space, but normal people, everyone. I think the statistic is everyone knows at least 3 realtors, right? So how do I make myself stand out?
stand out, right?
Right,
Be
amongst-
the particular one, right?
Because everyone I know that I've had a conversation with, I'm talking about family or very close family friends. Hey, I want to buy a house, or I'm thinking about selling. And when you approach them and say, hey, I would love to help you out.
you out.
Oh, my father-in-law is helping me. Or my my brother's helping me. Oh, I have a
Right.
friend or my cousin who's helping me. Things like that. So
Yeah.
everyone, I mean,
Already
it's such,
has-
it's so many people are licensed. It's so common.
Yeah, everybody's like trying to get their license. If,
No,
like,
everybody knows somebody who knows somebody who's licensed. you know.
Exactly.
Right.
So
how
they
do
will
I stand
prefer,
out?
yeah, of course.
so you have faced that issue that it's too many realtors at this point.
I mean, I'm just getting started, but you have to find your,
Niche.
You have to find your niche, but you have to find what works for you, right? Like, what's your style? What's your market? Like, I say real estate is very market specific.
Yeah.
I think for me as a realtor, like, I want to focus on markets, the neighborhoods around where I live, so I know those neighborhoods are closer for me to access, and it's a lot easier prospecting clients if you're able to relate that, hey, I grew up in this area.
Yeah, I can help you in a
remember
better way.
remember when that building used to be around, or remember this.
You relate
That's how you
more, I
build that
think, yeah.
rapport.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, have you done a deal yet, or no? Just getting started.
I'm just getting started. So currently I'm in a mentorship program. So my
Okay.
mentor, shout out Tyler Dameron at Keller Williams Infinity. He is my mentor right
Yeah.
now, or coach, and he's been amazing.
Yeah.
So the entire office has also been amazing because they have a lot of great resources and a lot of great groups. So, for
Yeah.
example, right now I am in a Instagram challenge
Oh, like growing up your profile.
to grow your Instagram, right? So
How's that going?
it's going well. I mean, we're on week 3. So what we have to do for the challenge is we have to follow 20 new people every week. Because, when you follow people, there's a statistical chance that they'll follow you back.
Yeah.
You have to post 5 stories every
And
week.
is that like personal accounts or just like as a group of the
Business.
No, my personal
that's your
account. It's
personal
a
account.
personal
Got
account
it.
because you're trying to build your own brand.
right?
Yeah.
So
Your
5
own brand
stories,
account. Yeah.
And then lastly, you have to do 4 posts
Have
or
you been
reels.
doing it?
In a week or
Every week.
Every week. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been consistent with that?
So far, like, I just barely make the cutoff. Because honestly, it takes time and effort, right?
It's
I
not
mean,
easy.
you have to go out of the way. Like
It's
to
not
record
easy. A lot
yourself.
of people think you just have to pick up a camera and then start doing it. For one 30-second video, you have to take at least 2 to 3 retakes.
yeah.
If you haven't faced a camera before, God knows what will happen.
I mean, if you
know.
look at our Instagram, he would post every single day.
Yeah.
But now it's like once in like 3 weeks. Like,
Right.
I gotta do a video, man. Like, man.
No, because again, the consistency is the hard part.
It's
You
the
know
hard
you have
part.
to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But then, you start second guessing yourself because putting out content is easy. Oh, hey, here's what I had for dinner. Hey, we're doing a podcast. Hey, we're doing this, But it's a self struggle where, like, are people going to watch this? What are people going to
It's
think?
self-doubt.
It's self-doubt.
Right. Right.
That's a perfect word for it,
Yeah.
self-doubt. But sometimes I've found that doesn't matter. Just put out the content.
What's the worst case?
doesn't-
Nobody's gonna
right.
watch it.
Yeah, nobody's
Okay,
gonna watch
whatever.
it, and then but people, there's still gonna be some level of interaction. People are always curious.
Right.
Like this was us when we started this podcast, right?
Right.
We put an introduction, but then the first episode took us like quite a while. We're like, you know
Right.
what? Should we do this? Is it gonna
Right.
work out? We're like, what? Just do it. What's the worst case?
Everything's tough in the
Yeah.
beginning, right? But
Right.
as you go through it,
It gets easier.
Gets
right?
easier, right?
I mean, look at you guys now. I mean, where are you guys from when you started to how you're acquiring and doing your projects now? I'm sure it's at a lot faster pace.
Yes.
So
And it's
I'm sure the
easier
first
also
couple was a
in
struggle.
our in our mind. It's getting easier, like calculating rehab cost,
Right.
purchase price, calculating like how much all the lender fees and extra fees will cost.
Like the first
and all
one
this
took us
stuff.
6 months,
Right.
but this year we did 6 in 6 months.
Right. Not
So-
because you guys have formed habits.
It's just like
You
a
know,
habit, yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned because on my way here, I was listening to Atomic Habits, the book by
Oh, the
James
book, right?
Clear.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
And so it's about if going through things over and over again. In the beginning, it's going to be tough, but
Tough,
once
right.
it's ingrained in you, it's second nature. You're gonna go. Everything's boom, boom,
That
boom, boom,
becomes,
boom.
yeah,
Right.
that becomes an habit.
You
right?
don't have to think about
You
it,
don't
and
have
you
to
don't have to
think,
be like put you in self doubt. You just say, "I'm good.
Right.
I'm gonna do it."
'Cause
That
you-
becomes a new norm.
Right, and
Yeah.
and you guys, as everyone struggles, like I mean, everyone fails before success, right? But you've taken the hits, you've taken the punches,
Yeah.
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
You've toughened up. So if something that comes up again, you're like, okay, yeah, I've seen
been
this.
through it,
I know
yeah.
how to deal with it.
Right.
Right. A lot of in the beginning, it's a lot of fear, like, oh my God, what if this happens? And it's
What am I gonna
analysis
do? Yeah.
paralysis, right?
Right.
And honestly, I'm kind of still stuck in that phase because there's a lot I feel like I don't know because I haven't gone through the motions.
Going through the process, all
Exactly.
But again, you never stop learning. So there's always something that you don't know.
Right.
But
No, what I think on that, on analysis and paralysis thing, my takeaway is like jump on the water. If you don't know how to swim, doesn't matter.
the water will teach you.
No, the water will. Of course, the water will teach you.
Either you'll
If you have to, like, if you have, like, the God has decided you to die at that day, you'll die. No problem. It's not in your hands. And if you don't know anything, what will happen? You'll be alive, and you know how to swim now.
That's
It's a
true. I don't
do
know.
and die
It could be a good
situation.
and a bad way to
I
put
don't
it
know
out.
if I would. A lot of people. It depends on the circumstances, right?
Yeah.
I could not jump in without a life vest, or I could not jump into the water without a boat right next to me where someone can throw me a
Throw you,
lifeline, right?
Save you.
Like, because in my life, I can't take that risk.
Yeah.
Right. I've got a family and things like that. But what's great is about real estate investing. There's always a community, right?
Right.
I joined Mastery after, I was actually on Bigger Pockets before. I'm still a member, a pro member, whatever. I don't, because they have a lot of good articles
Resources,
and
yeah.
resources, things like that. And everyone mentioned, hey, join your local RIA. And that's how I found Chicago RIA.
Right.
And then
Oh, that's how you found
That's how I found it. I went to one of the local events in Tinley Park because it was down the street from where I live. And then, I was hooked.
got hooked,
I signed
yeah.
up for the 3-day, and that was it. That was
That was it. That was in the story.
Right. So, but kind of getting to your point is, having at least some sort of support, right, or a community.
It's very important.
Whether you sign up and have a mentor, or you network yourself with experienced people. Those are the people that are willing to send you
you
that
out,
lifeline.
right.
I mean, one thing I found, it's like you don't even need to know people or be friends with people, but as long as like you're in the proper Facebook groups or whatever, if you post a question, there's always somebody there
somebody
to
will-
be able to answer for
Right,
you.
right.
Right. And how are you marketing yourself like as a new realtor?
Right now, just on Instagram.
Just the Instagram part?
Just on Instagram.
Any like cold callings, mailers, and all that stuff, like
Oh
how
my
everybody
gosh.
does it.
Cold calling, I'm definitely afraid of.
Actually?
Actually,
Have you tried it ever?
I tried it once.
What scares you about that?
Talking to people.
Just being an introvert.
Being an introvert, I mean,
You should double down on cold calling then.
I should.
Get over the fear.
you
I
should.
think.
I really should, but right now I'm putting together a marketing plan for mailers
Okay.
to do postcards and newsletters to a couple local neighborhoods, because there is a study that if you I don't know the exact study, but a lot of agents
There's data behind it.
talk about it, and they set up an experiment where they marketed a fake real estate agent to a community.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
You heard
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
No.
Yeah, so they marketed it was a fake agent, fake name, fake everything, right? And then they would send them postcards, letters, whatever,
Every week, yeah.
every week or every month or whatever. And then they later on went around a neighborhood and say, hey, I'm looking to sell my house. Who would you recommend? They
that guy.
recommended a fake
That
agent's
guy.
name.
Oh, no
because
way.
they were constantly in their face
Yeah,
every
yeah.
month or
Yeah.
whatever.
Interesting.
So that's sort of the approach I'm gonna take with my
Become
initial
being an agent,
marketing. Maybe send out a newsletter or a postcard saying, "Hey, I'm the newest best agent
You're the best
in the
In
city."
the town, yeah.
Yeah, or like
Your
because,
favorite agent.
Because
You know how
a,
to
lo-
say
a lot
it.
of the stuff is like, or you might not be, but you gotta fake it till you
Gotta
make
fake
it.
it till you make it.
Or you can kind of twist it a little bit and say, up and coming best agent.
Up and coming
Up and
best
coming, right?
Why
yeah,
up and
there's-
coming?
It's so subjective.
There's a lie.
No, no. Why up and coming? You
I am the
are the
one.
best.
I'm the best.
I am the
best.
But that's just how it is. And then
Yeah.
the follow-ups and things like that, and
They do matter, yeah.
And the weather is getting a little bit better, so I can take flyers and then walk the neighborhood.
Yeah.
hand drop flyers off into
Or
people's
people also do those
mailboxes,
door hangers.
door hangers, but
Yeah.
Mailbox door hangers, no problem, right?
Yeah.
But the whole point is if you're actually walking the neighborhood, especially on a Saturday or a morning, people might be out there cutting their grass, walking their dogs. Then you can have actual personal
Interaction,
conversations
yeah.
with people.
Right.
So you're just not a flyer. They
It's-
know you
it's
now.
know you, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Now
you
there's
right
a
now.
personal connection there.
That's true. I
Yeah.
like that. I like the strategy. Yeah. What else about real estate that you think has affected your life?
I mean,
Like being a lender, being an investor yourself, or now that you're an agent, what part of it?
everything's been good actually. So I do personally have one investment property of my own.
Okay.
And that's offered a little bit of passive income. And I got lucky since I bought the place. I've had two different tenants. They both 3 years each. One's actually on his third year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they're one of those tenants where it's like
They just
hands
don't call
off.
you.
Yeah.
We need those tenants, man. Ours like
I'll tell you my secret maybe later on as part of this podcast.
Yeah, we need that,
But
man.
you have to set a precedence with your tenants.
you think so?
Oh yeah, every time once I started setting a precedence when they sign a lease, it's cut down on a lot of phone calls, and not just for my tenants, but the properties I manage for my mom. Is anytime we get a new tenant, I set a precedence when we're going through the lease to really let them know what I'm responsible for and what you're responsible for. Don't just call me for every little thing.
Right.
But
Set of rules and everything.
set of rules. But kind of going back to your question, but it's provided me, what real estate provided me, again, passive income. So and then also being a realtor, and then having the education that we received for investing. The world is your oyster. You have opportunity now
Right.
that you never thought you had before, right? So I think that's probably it's all been good, and any opportunity you have in this life is you got to cherish it and go after it.
Go after it.
Right. So do you have any dreams regarding real estate or investing, and
Well-
where you want to go?
More like goals. That's
So goals is, honestly, it's more just for passive income or
Yeah.
something, So, I mentioned earlier that my dad passed away, right? He was 65 years old, young guy.
Oh, that's really young.
Yeah.
Was it like a medical reason or?
Yeah. He had some pre-existing conditions, things
Okay.
like that. In the Bronx community, I'm sure you know what those are.
Of course.
So, but when you have a parent or someone that close to you that passes away, you start to
Look at life differently.
you look at life different, but then you also start to question your own. Yeah, kind of like that. You question
Yeah.
your own life. What are you doing? What do you need to be doing? Or so the couple of years after he had passed, I had a lot of self introspection and figured, okay, what do I need to do? Because
Was there like a fear?
there was a fear of not having my life where I wanted it to go. I mean, and that's just not me. There's a lot of people out there
Going
that
through
have not had this, someone close to them pass away, but they're always struggling, or what they're struggling with is they're not where they want to be in life.
Similar
Right.
scenarios.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it's not an uncommon thing. I just had a little catalyst,
Sure, yeah.
to really push me in that direction. So, I want to be able to have enough passive income where I can buy back my time, spend a lot more time with my brothers, my children, my parent. I have just my mom
Yeah,
left now.
with your family. Yeah.
My family,
Yeah.
because this life is too short.
I agree. Totally agree. Do you plan on replacing your W-2 with a passive income thing?
Eventually, yeah, but I mean, having a W-2 is nice a little bit, but I may not.
In what ways?
For one, for right now as a beginner, it's a source of income to fund my
True.
real estate. Later on, especially when you're getting a loan and things, they require
That does help,
yeah,
right?
you want at least 2 years of W-2
You have a good credit
or
score and
credit
all,
history,
right?
things like that. And we live in an expensive world, especially medical care,
It's only gotten
insurance,
worse,
things like
yeah.
that. So, having the benefits and stuff like that, especially with my little kids. I mean, they're not so little anymore, but I mean, any day they can come home with a broken arm or something like
Oh,
that.
you don't even know.
or,
Yeah. How old
or,
are they though?
11 and 13.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, they're older now, but yeah, I mean, anything can happen, right?
I mean, it's uncertain.
I mean,
Can't
I'll
even,
tell you this: the other day, I was walking out of the gym and I got hit by a car.
No way.
Yeah,
Like walking by and you got hit by.
I was walking by. I was heading into the gym, and I hear the engine roar. And it was a rainy day, and this guy's driving his 350Z rear wheel drive car.
Oh, hell no.
And I just heard, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to spin out the car. He was a 20, maybe 20 something year
Oh,
old,
young blood, man.
driving a sports car.
Yeah.
He just wanted to kind of fishtail the
Spin
car,
it, yeah.
and it was wet out. So I'm walking, and luckily I didn't have my headphones in because I have noise canceling. But I didn't have them in, so all of a sudden I hear this roar of an engine, and I see this car just kept getting bigger and bigger. I kind of shuffle, I bounce out of the way. It still hits the side, hit
No
the side
way.
fender, and because when he hit me, the car was still moving. It was sliding because it was raining out,
Rainy, yeah.
Man.
and it could have been a lot worse.
Did he stop by or he just ran away?
No, he stopped. And then I went to the gym. He's like, "I'll meet you in there." We talked a little bit. I just kind of. I could have handled it a lot worse than I did. I was actually pretty okay
calm.
because I figured, this it could have been a lot worse,
But you're glad you were,
and God
like,
had
still good,
blessed me and him on the same,
same
day.
time, yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Something worse happened. It could have been
Exactly.
way-
So
yeah.
I mean, I was shaken for a couple days after that. Like I
It
couldn't
hits
even.
you in the head, man.
It
Like,
did. I couldn't honestly. Like I tried going to the gym. I got in the parking lot and I left. I couldn't
No
do
way.
it. Yeah. And the first and even when I was in parking lots in general, if I see like a car kind of coming towards me, because
It gets getting bigger.
I
and bigger,
got
yeah.
anxiety. I'm over it now, thank God.
It's a trauma.
It
It's a
was trauma.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I eventually went in because I don't know what happened exactly. I went in and saw the security footage. That they didn't let me keep it because I think that would have been a good post.
Hey.
Just why didn't you record under your phone?
They wouldn't let me.
Really?
What?
They wouldn't let me. It's their corporate policy. It's like, oh, well, only if you have a police report,
Police
we'll
report,
release
yeah.
it to the police. And I did file a police report.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, call back after a week. I never called them, but nobody called me
Nobody-
either.
No, it's you have to call.
Exactly. And they're like, I kind of had to make it up. They're like, do you know who hit you? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
I don't
know.
want to be. I didn't want to make it a big deal. I mean,
Right.
like I was
As long
okay.
as you're fine,
I was
that's what
okay.
matters.
Everyone's okay. I'm fine.
You're
I
okay
lived
for,
Moving
like,
your
another
life.
day.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
good.
Nice. So, what do you think of the mastery program? Coming back to the real estate, though.
Oh, phenomenal. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's one of the best decisions I've made because the amount of what I learned is I could not. It will take me
Years. I think,
Years.
to,
just to get maybe half
Yeah.
of what they teach because it's truly real world experience, and especially when you have your property tours and you have people like yourselves and other experienced investors who are there to answer questions and present their properties or case studies. You can't get that
yeah.
online.
yeah,
on
even
YouTube.
for us, like right before when we joined Mastery, we were in a different program. This was based in Vegas,
Yeah.
and we paid actually more money than we paid here
Yeah.
to get into that program, and it was all online. Everything was pre-recorded. There's nobody you can reach out to.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we even doing? And then we come back from Vegas, Facebook ads start running like Andrew Holmes. Okay, now what? Well, you joined that too then.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason we were able to like scale up.
Oh,
Within
exactly.
the last 2 years, we are like, I think we've done pretty good,
Right.
and then it's only getting better. So
No,
No,
for
but in that mastery program, they teach you a concept of cash flow. Suppose.
Cash flow, yeah.
So, what's your thought on like, should we have a cash flow or should we have more money in the bank? Like, because cash
nice
flow
to
will
have
take time.
why not both?
Why not both?
No, cash flow will take time. It's not like you buy a property right now, tomorrow it will start cash flowing, but it might take 5 years to show, like.
And then you need to be like at a point where the cash flow matters. Like if you buy a property, right? Let's say one property,
Right.
on average, $400 of cash flow.
Okay.
If you have 4 of those, that's not gonna.
Well, it's a start.
It's not gonna change your life.
It might. Some people, right? Money is a concept. It's very subjective, right? Someone who doesn't have it will be happy with the little.
happy-
Someone who
that's
has
true.
it won't be happy with
with
enough
the-
of it.
Yeah.
That's also
You know?
true. Yeah.
So it's really kind of like where you are at in your life because $400 to some people is okay. So I'll give an example for myself, right? So right now on my property, I cash flow about $700
Okay.
every month.
That's to duplex.
No, that's just my condo that I have.
Okay,
My
okay.
personal one.
Got it.
About $700. The way I think about it is, okay, if I have $700 a month, that is, so like when my kids like in a couple of years, go to college, that is living expenses per month for my my son
Yeah.
or something. It's like where it's not money coming out of my pocket.
Pocket, right.
It's money that
The
I'm
tenants paying,
generating, and it's going to be there the next month. Hopefully, if I have sustained the good tenants, then there's equity in the property, things like that. So it's like, okay, I'm like, where's that money going, right? So now imagine I have two of those. Let's say I want to buy a new car. It's $1,400 payment. I got two properties, cash flowing
Yeah,
$700.
that's true, yeah.
You can
Okay,
buy.
I'm paying for a car that I can enjoy, and I don't ever have to worry about, oh my God, it's
payment,
coming
yeah.
out of my pocket from my W-2 that I'm waking up 5 a.m. every morning, coming home at 7 o'clock.
That's also
Right.
true.
You
yeah.
know?
It depends how you put it.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah, like, money, it'll hit you when you also become parents too. It's like, like
Not ready for it at all.
no,
man.
meaning like, let's say milk. Like if you can save $5, hey, $5 is a gallon of milk.
That's true.
What can you save to buy something else? That's the way my dad was, and that's the way like he's kind of ingrained that concept in
No,
me.
that's a whole basic, I would say, brown culture thing.
It
like
is, yeah.
save $1, save 10,
Save a penny.
save a penny.
And you make $1, and then you save $1 and make it $10.
Right. But and then that's a really good point, because you've also heard nickel and, or what was it, like your pennies over nickels? What's that term? Saving pennies and.
I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't recall
but
It's
it
the
right
same thing. You save $1, it will turn into $10. Save $10, it will be $100.
In the beginning, I feel like that's what everyone has to do to save and get their financial house in order.
Yeah.
But then later on, when you're at a different level, then you forget the pennies to go after the quarters.
Quarters, right.
Right?
True,
you're at a
right,
different
yeah.
level at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So again, it's where you're financially at in
your point of life.
Yeah, in your life.
But as a brown culture, like brown background, it's ingrained in our blood or something like that. You cannot leave that. It doesn't matter you're a billionaire or a trillionaire.
That's true.
You
$5?
see, okay,
Hell no.
should I spend $5,000 on this, or should I save it? What should I
It
do?
depends, right?
Yeah.
People
If it's-
think brown people are cheap. We're not cheap. We're frugal. There's
Yeah.
a huge
And we're
difference.
smart with our money, I think.
You were
I would
smart,
say
right?
that.
We'll spend where we want to spend. Think about it like this. You go out and like, I'm not going to spend this money, but I guarantee you guys and any brown person will spare no expense by taking his family out to dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it costs, right? Because those are memories.
Those are memories, yeah.
Most
Right.
of the time, you don't even see the bill. Also.
Bill,
Just
just
pay
pay
it.
it.
Who
That's
cares,
it, right?
right?
So we spend where we think it matters,
It's
right?
required, yeah.
Exactly. Not even required, where it matters to us.
Us, right.
Right.
That's where, and it's a concept called conscious spending.
Conscious spending.
Conscious spending. You spend stuff that were on what offers fulfillment in your life, and
Yeah.
don't spend stuff that will maybe take away fulfillment of your life.
Materialistic, maybe.
Things that you don't really care about.
Right.
You care about traveling, spend money on traveling. But if you don't care about eating, don't spend
yeah.
money on fancy dinners.
dinners, right,
Right,
So
right.
spend your money consciously.
Consciously,
Yeah.
And then, but save it as well consciously.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
All right.
All right.
If somebody wants to reach out to you,
All right,
How
so
is
you
that
guys can
process
reach
like?
out to me on my Instagram. It's Ahmer Zaidi _RE on Instagram and on Facebook. And I am also starting a podcast called Realtrepreneur. So watch out for that. The Instagram and handles will probably be linked in the
Yeah.
comments.
yeah, I'm gonna put everything in the description. I like that name actually. Realistic.
I know.
How
I
do you
came
call
up
it?
with it. You like it?
What did you say?
Realtrepreneur.
Realtrepreneur.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
That's
a
very
Damn,
tongue
I'm-
twister.
Go
but
go
I'm
go to
surprised
GoDaddy
you
and
didn't
take that name right now.
trademark it real quick.
It's funny. Before I thought of the name, I got the domain.
No way,
Oh,
actually.
yeah. I got it. It was available.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
tried to get ours, and I think we have to go through like an agent, like to get.
Oh
to our
no,
name.
so
Yeah.
mine was readily available. I'm like, dude, like we got. So we went through a bunch of different names, and this one just stuck out. And
Yeah.
I'm like, we're
That's
buying
really-
it. And,
That's
really
a
very
unique name.
interesting.
That's a
and,
unique name, though.
and it's a good name.
It's beautiful, man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
This
very
is the real
thoughtful.
estate entrepreneurship, and the podcast is going to be about, again, entrepreneurship and real estate kind of combined together.
Are you
Yeah.
doing it with a partner or something, or?
Yeah, so I've got a partner who's also an agent.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So yeah, we'd love to have you guys on and tell your
Be a
story.
pleasure, man.
Absolutely.
On the
Yeah.
where the
Let us
host
know.
has
You've
become
got
the
to-
interviewee.
The interviewees, right? Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No.
Any
again,
questions for us?
Maybe offline.
Maybe offline.
Maybe
You
offline.
got multiple questions offline.
I need to deep dive into some of your stuff and
No,
how
you
you
got
guys
it,
are
man.
killing it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can learn a lot from you guys as well, even
No,
at my
yeah,
old
pleasure,
age.
man. We'll sit and talk.
All right. Last question. Tell me one thing which you love and hate about investing.
Love and hate about investing. I love, again, back to the similar question, opportunity. One thing I hate about it is that there is a lot of gatekeeping that goes on in the community.
I've noticed that.
So, but as much as people like to gatekeep, it's like if you dig hard enough, you'll find eventually someone who's willing to open up and
Yeah.
help you out.
Nice.
That's very true.
Yep.
All right, guys, it's been a pleasure having Ahmer over, and
Thank you so
very
much,
great
Ahmer, for
conversation.
coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yep. And we'll wrap it up, and then make sure you watch all our podcasts and you subscribe our channel, like, comment, all that stuff, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, guys.
Adios, amigos.
Take care, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.